everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin. I'm your host, Brian Cartwright. I am joined by Tegan Summerset.
Yep, I'm here.
And Rocky Hardy.
Honk.
I thought we were done honking. I thought we were done honking because the Goose Game was like, we were done with that. Are we not done honking? Am I wrong?
Oh, I was never honking because of the Goose Game. That was just a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were honking because of the Goose Game. Damn.
And Flavor Crystal Gustafson. Welcome.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. I was going to go with Fresca Overload, but yeah.
Oh no! That would have been worse!
How's it going, guys? Been a while.
Yeah, friend of the show, Joe Spiro. How are you, sir?
Yeah, what up?
I'm good. I heard I was called out in a way that was absolutely appropriate on the last episode.
Walk us through that. Walk us through...
Walk us through your discovery of our call out.
Yeah.
There was discussion of a chat client and whether or not it was necessary and or advisable, and whether it was desirable for Animal Crossing and Nintendo properties generally. And I think I texted Brian saying to the effect of like, this conversation is driving me up a wall.
Oh yeah.
Actually, let me quote it directly: "Drive me up a fucking wall."
Nice.
And then, like, I kept listening, and then, like, Brian definitely is like, I think this is something Joe Spiro would probably tweet us about.
And that's when you were like yelling, like, let me in! Like, put me in, coach!
I actually didn't request, so it kind of came as a surprise. I thought one of you guys was going to be out or something, but it turns out not the case. Yeah, I took issue with it simply because, like, yeah, I think Brian and I have both discussed not being as forgiving to Nintendo about certain things, given the ease of the actual engineering behind it. Because, like, I earnestly believe Nintendo has some of the best game programmers in the world. They just make decisions that I won't call baffling.
They just make decisions and you go, I mean, that's a choice, and you did make it.
Yeah, I earnestly think it has a lot to do with, like, protectiveness, just because of the whole drama that ensued over, was it, God, what was the chat thing that they used to do? What was the drawing chat thing they used to do that they got in a lot of hot water over?
Pico Chat on the DS Lite?
Yeah, and I think that it's just like a combination of hesitance of engaging with online culture and also the like potential lawsuits and not wanting to be a vehicle for people to solicit minors or something. I mean, I don't think it's therefore rational, but I do see where they're coming from.
One of my favorite things in the world is the robustness and the fullness of Nintendo's current dick detection algorithms. Because that's really the only thing they seem to do right with their online.
Wait, are you serious?
Their dick detection algorithms?
Yeah, so the reason I ask if you're serious is just I used to work on a MMO, and at that time, dick detection algorithms were seen as so bad as to not be worth it. So, and that wasn't that long ago, so I'm very surprised to hear that their dick detection algorithms have vastly improved.
Yes, Nintendo is very good at detecting dicks, and they continue to detect dicks very quickly in some of the front lines of the dick battlefields. Did you make yourself a custom Smash Brothers stage, which is just a dick? We got you. Oh, I see that when I hit this POW block in this Mario Maker level, these blocks all turn to coins, revealing the shape of a dick. We got you. They're very good with the dicks. Very good with the dicks. I don't know where they are with like the dick detection and the terraforming in Animal Crossing. I have not seen all that many reports of that much like dick activity.
Dicktivity.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, like I was tempted at one point just to like get the DIY recipe for the silo and then build a silo and just put 2 bushes in front of it, but you know, that's neither here nor there. That's just their assets.
Yeah, it looks like I need to read some white papers.
Yeah. Man. So, Spiro, in the last month, this show has spiraled into Animal Crossing hell. It seems to be mostly what we did once we were done consuming the Tiger King. How's your quarantine been?
There has been a lot of Animal Crossing. This is not a indictment of the quality of the current Animal Crossing, but this might be the last Animal Crossing I play for a while. It's never been my cup of tea. I'm very much not someone who's into slow life games, I guess is what the general class is called. And I'm also not into the idea of games with dailies, and that it extends to genres I normally like, so RPGs and the like.
Right.
So the only reason that I've been playing this one pretty thoroughly is because, we were all in quarantine and all my friends got into it like crazy. So because of that, I got pretty deep into Animal Crossing, a game I otherwise probably would have played very little of, and probably only for my girlfriend, but it was the primary means of socializing for quite a while. I've been enjoying this one, but there's a lot of just like random quality of life things. On the Giant Bombcast, they mentioned the idea that like the conversation trees with a lot of characters seem shallower, and I happen to agree with that, but I wonder if it's because they focused more on non-conversation activities, because you guys have mentioned that like you can just encounter people doing really weird stuff like on the overworld on the map, and I think that's probably exactly the direction they went, but I kind of missed the deeper conversation trees.
Yeah, like, have you guys had a villager tell you that they're lonely yet?
No.
It just fucking bummed me out, right? So, like, I just built this drive-in movie theater in my town, right? Was very happy with it, very satisfied. And, like, I had just recently gotten a popcorn machine, so I was going to install my popcorn machine by my drive-in, so that way patrons can get popcorn. When I get there, Keaton, my eagle, is just chilling out, laying on the green race car bed that I have in a parking space. Because the way I made my drive-in was to get the race car beds.
Oh.
And so then he hopped off the bed and walked up to me and said, "I'm lonely," and then walked away, went home.
That's heavy.
And I'm like, fuck, Keaton. Keaton, do I need to call somebody? Like,
was there any continued effect to that seeming situation, I guess? Because, like, I wonder if there's any persistence to the, like, if he's, like, later, like, I'm good now, or something like that. Because it kind of feels...
I made more of an effort to, like, make sure I was spending time with Keaton as a result of that. Like, I was like, all right, if Keaton's going to tell me that, like, he's feeling lonely, then he obviously needs... I need to water my Keaton. And so, but he hasn't brought it up, But he's a weird fucker. He crafts when he's not supposed to be crafting.
What does that mean?
Okay, so there is, like, a cycle for villagers, which is supposed to, like, maximize the amount of, like, DIY recipes you can get from your villagers each day. So, I'm right, Tegan, that it's, like, 3-hour blocks, and is it 4 villagers a day?
3 villagers a day.
3. Okay, so it's a 3x3 block. Like, one villager will craft for 3 hours, then they stop. Then another villager will craft for 3 hours, and then they stop. And then a third villager will craft for 3 hours, and then they stop. And so, in theory, you should have 3 villagers crafting a day. 1 villager at a time crafting. But there have definitely been fucking times where somebody is crafting, and then I roll into Keaton's, and he's crafting as well. Now, every time that this has happened, where he is crafting while someone else is crafting, every DIY he's given me in those situations have been DIYs for shit I already have. And he's like, well, surely somebody else will also be interested in, in how to make a bird bath. And I'm like, fuck, Keaton, I guess all right. If you want, I can throw this away. And that's kind of how it goes. He's a weirdo.
Wait, so he makes things that other villagers have produced for you?
Yeah, like, so he always gives me DIY recipes that I already have in my inventory. If he is the only villager crafting at that time, then, like, I'll get new recipes. But if he's being bonus weird crafting Keaton, man, then it's always duplicates. It's always like, hey, are you really, why don't you show somebody else how to make a bonfire? Like, all right, Keaton, I'll pass that information right along.
To no one. I'm going to give it to no one. I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to throw it away.
I wonder if that's intrinsic to him, and like if that's supposed to be like a character trait. It's just like, oh yeah, tries to encourage you to interact with people who don't have that stuff or something like that.
I am glad I'm starting to see some of the like weirder stuff around the edges of this Animal Crossing, because like I've always been drawn in by like Animal Crossing being weird. Like I enjoy seeing like which villagers display the gifts that I give them in their home versus which ones don't. Plus, like, I'm a big fan of the villagers who are obviously not wild about the present that you've bought them, and they're just trying to give you money for it. They're like, oh, I couldn't accept such a nice gift. Here's $20. You know, like, that's been kind of neat, too. Like, I feel like the friendship level system feels more robust. It's really weird and gamey as shit that they, like, play that like chime noise when you hit like levels 5 and 6 of the friendship scale. Like it's different than just the like you completed a quest chime for like the villager. Like if you return a lost item or whatever, there's that. But now there's a different chime for hitting like level 5 or 6 on the friendship scale. And it's like what, the first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is that? But like as a total testament to the shitty RNG in this game, despite the fact that I have 3 villagers at this point who I have level 6 friendship with, none of these fuckers have given me a framed picture of them. So, I don't know. Maybe they're hiding the framed pictures with all the large star fragments.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I still have no idea what you're talking about when you talk about those chimes. So, like, none of my villagers like me. Which is fine. I don't like them either.
But do you have large star fragments?
Yeah, I have 2.
At least you have that going for you.
I have 2. But I also have only had 1 meteor shower.
I had a week where I had meteor showers 6 nights.
That's bullshit. That's unfair. What the fuck?
And that's what... Alright, like, I know that, like, games are supposed to do shit where they, like, decrease frequency on roll tables when things start happening excessively to make sure you experience, like, all of this stuff. But, like, I'm pretty sure that CJ has never been to my fucking island. Like, pretty damn sure. I can't think of a single time I've seen CJ on my island. Like, I just had Flick this week for the first time in I don't know how long, which is when I got my shitty citrus beetle statue. Pro tip, I will trade anybody most things for a citrus beetle statue. If you want it, just make an offer.
I'll send you 10 bells.
Sold.
Wow.
Sold.
Wow.
Oh, God.
So, question.
Yes.
So you know how, like, I swear this will come back around and make sense. You know how the turnip market has been clearly, like, data mined to hell and everyone knows exactly how it works now?
Right.
Has anyone done that for any of the other randomization, like, tables in the game?
Yes. Somebody broke the money trees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely heard you guys talk about that last week, and a couple weeks ago, I actually tried doing some actuary work and coming to the conclusion of exactly what you talked about, like with the break-even point.
Right. Just fucking bury 30,000 bells. You know, just, yeah. You know, you're either going to just get your money back or, you know, have a 90,000 bell tree, and it's fine. You know, it's fine. Like, a 30% odd to make 60,000 bells is pretty good.
The reason I asked is I wonder if online play or connecting to the internet ever resets it, because I have no actual evidence for this beyond like tiny data points, but I wonder how much it takes into account events that have recently happened amongst friends who have recently connected to the internet.
Like, is Tegan getting meteor showers withheld because it knows that she was in town at least one of the nights that I had a meteor shower?
Yeah, like something to the effect of like, so I've messaged you guys about this on Twitter once, just the idea of like Animal Crossing being this like weird social norms trainer in a certain way. I mean, I don't think that's the explicit purpose, but I do think it does a bit of that. And I wonder if it's just like, Brian, you've been playing a lot by yourself on your island, even though you have a bunch of friends who you do see every once in a while. Maybe invite them over during this week of meteor storms.
Well, why do that when I can post a thing on Nookazon that says admission 5 tickets? You know, I think that like easily buildable, robust social networking platforms which venerate and lift up shitty capitalism weren't quite as refined as they were when New Leaf came out. Like, man, Animal Crossing is a whole scene this time around. Like, it is amazing. So I have to talk about this experience buying cloud flooring, right? So there was an ad on Nookazon for cloud flooring. I had wanted cloud flooring for my bathroom. And the person said, cloud flooring, 90,000 bells. And I'm like,
that's not that many bells.
And I'm like, I'll do it. That sounds awesome. And they messaged me and said, just want to let you know, there's been an update to the price. It's 90,000 bells and 5 Nook tickets. And I'm like, fucking fine.
Wow.
So I go, and the person, they greet me, they pick up the 90,000 bells that I put down, and they pick up the 5 Nook tickets, and then they say, follow me. They use their little text message client and say, follow me. I'm like, what's going on here? And I keep on wondering why the gate keeps on opening in the town. Like, why are there so many people getting off this plane? I'm like, what has she got going on here? And so I follow her, and she leads me down to her western shore on a beach where she has trapped Sahara.
Oh, that's not nice.
And so what she did was she found out that Sahara was selling cloud flooring that day, then trapped Sahara, and was just selling cloud flooring over and over again, so that way you could then come buy cloud flooring from Sahara.
Yeah, this is kind of a horror movie.
That's kind of ingenious, though.
Okay.
It's not I have the cloud flooring, it's Sahara has the cloud flooring on my island, but I'm not going to tell you that part. This is how much for access to my island to buy the cloud flooring yourself. Wow.
So,
It's
Tegan,
wild.
what if you wanted an outfit like IRL, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to whatever clothing store, let's say Madewell or like Uniqlo or something. You get there, and instead of just having them out on racks, like there's a literal sweatshop there. Like, what do you do?
Oh my god.
Because that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's still funny though. That like you didn't actually pay for the cloud flooring, you fool. You paid for the opportunity to buy the cloud flooring.
And I'm like, what in the world would have happened if I had brought exactly 90,000 bells? You know? If I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to buy this cloud flooring for 90,000 bells and 5 Nook tickets. If I had gotten there and all I had was 90,000 bells and 5 Nook tickets, then...
Then I suppose they would have had to let you fish on their island until you had enough, 3,000 bells or whatever?
Right. And she had built, this elaborate, fucking hedge maze to get to the shore where Sahara was trapped. So it was obvious that it was please follow me through my elaborate hedge maze, that once you made the purchase, I will then, lead you back. And it's like, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. I have had transactions that were just as silly. I exited an airport, and a person had built those, spiked siege barriers, the spiked wooden barriers that face in either direction, along the road exiting the airport, so that way you couldn't immediately deviate right or left. And they had put down a table in front of it and had used the put pattern on ground thing in the area right in front of the table. And it said, place funds on table.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I put the bells on the table. At which point they then put the item on the table that I was trading for. At which point the voice chat popped up and then said, leave.
Oh my god. That's amazing. Go! Our transaction is finished.
And I'm like, shit, thanks for the pinball machine, monster person. the idea of Animal Crossing, like, unchaining people in this way is a very new thing for me. And just, I don't know if there was this culture around, like, New Leaf in previous iterations, but, like, I guess it's the first time this particular side of, like, Animal Crossing has been so accessible to me. And, like, holy shit, it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, you may remember this, but you know, God, what was the name of Phantasy Star Online? You know how the online cultures for Phantasy Star Online in Japan and the US were like hyper different in terms of like generosity?
Right.
I'm really curious to know whether this like really weird hyper capitalist sweatshop castle fortress of transactions shit is happening in the Japanese Animal Crossing community, or if it's much more communitarian. Not that like, you know, Japan itself isn't also very capitalist, but like I think at the individual transactional level it tends not to be like this, and I wonder if the gaming of the system has occurred as much. Do any of you guys have any insight into the Japanese Animal Crossing community?
Not much. I mean, I've definitely traded with players who are in Japan, but I don't know how distinct it is. One of the things that I'm kind of curious about is, has subtly different event dates or, you know, different available activities in games, in-game, like, shifted the culture as well, just kind of like, you know, regional norms. Because, like, in the US, what they call that fucking nightmare again? Bunny Day or Fuck You Day or, like...
Bunny Day. It's
yes.
Bunny Day.
Oh, God.
It wasn't that bad.
It was.
It was annoying,
It
but
was
like...
a pile... Tegan...
What?
If that game was Bunny Day, that I would be fucking done with it. I would go in the backyard, I would dig a hole, I'd bury it. Like, Bunny Day was terrible. We can love the game and acknowledge that Bunny Day is bad.
Well, yeah, Bunny Day was bad at the beginning, but when they adjusted the stuff, it wasn't
it was
as
still
bad.
dog shit. It was still dog shit. I'm sorry, if I go fishing and
To be fair, I've been playing the in-game events in Pocket Camp for 6 months now. Bunny Day wasn't that bad.
Wow. I've been eating feces for 6 months. This oatmeal
is a
great.
feast.
Yeah.
I tell you what, after getting shit on, I like the nice change up of getting pissed on, you know? It's the mix up. You got to respect the mix up. No, Tegan, you do not have to respect the mix up.
I do a little bit.
No, you don't.
Wait, so just to clarify, did Bunny Day not occur in the Japanese version?
Oh, no, it did.
No, it did, but also the Cherry Blossom Festival, which was running concurrent to Bunny Day, meant that the roll rates for Japanese players on Bunny Day bullshit was significantly lowered.
That'd be so nice.
Yes, in order to give those players access to, like, the Cherry Blossom Festival DIYs, and to make sure that they were getting enough cherry blossoms spawned. And so, like, what's weird is that, like, you could still catch the cherry blossoms in the US, and you could get the cherry blossom DIYs, but they were, like, incredibly hard to come by. You just be wandering around, and you're just like, whoa, what's that one fucking cherry blossom? And you get, like, one cherry blossom in, like, a day. And they'd be like, okay, I guess this is a thing. Like, I never got any of the DIYs for the Cherry Blossom Festival. Not a one.
I got, like, 6, I think. Mostly walls and floors, not really a lot of the furniture themselves. But I still have, like, literally 90 cherry blossoms.
Right.
Because I was just catching them, like, when I eventually get the cherry blossom DIYs, I'm going to be able to build all of them.
So was there a couple days where it was just Cherry Blossom Festival? Because I seem to remember something like that. Because I remember my friends, like, grinding hardcore during those days.
Yes, like, it was offset a little bit, where...
I think Cherry Blossom Festival lasted, like, 3 days after Bunny Day stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, 3 days. That's a very weird selection regarding the context of Bunny Day. Just imagine if the bunny just came back at the end. He's like, I have risen.
Oh, no.
You've crafted all the items. I have risen. And then he moves into your town.
God, when
when
the bunny shows up, it's like he's threatening you. He's like, because you have your first encounter with the bunny, and he's just like, hey, I shit where I sleep. I'll be back in a week. And you're like, fuck. no. And he's just like, that's right. Things are going to keep on happening. And you're going to experience escalating tension until Bunny Day, which is when I show back up. And that days will be the worst. Just like, oh, God. Oh, fuck. And at least since then, the events have been markedly less intrusive. Museum Day has been kind of a bust. Just do the stamp rally over and over again for the same plaques. Whatever, Blathers. I want to get all the plaques so that way I can trade in all the plaques at the end for a mega fucking plaque. Like, come on. Work with me here. And I think we had some other event in the... Come on, guys. What other event do we have?
There's been at least one fishing tourney, which it sounds like you missed if you say you've never seen CJ.
Yeah.
Fishing tourney was cool.
I gotta apparently start putting up posters for CJ around town. Have you seen this man?
Wait, hold on. You've like never seen CJ like in your village?
Not at all. Not once.
That's what he says, yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't sound right to me. The fishing tourney was on April 11th. There'll be another one in the summer.
Wait, wasn't the Bunny Day like actually April 12th?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, so
they
like
turned
yeah.
off they turned off fish spawns for the fishing tourney.
Yeah, I think
if you were participating in tourney activities, you could not catch an egg.
So, Joe, something that made me want to talk to you in particular while Animal Crossing was still on the tongue and in people's minds was, and I've been promising this for a couple of weeks and I've failed to deliver, and so I want to deliver now, is the idea of like talking about how it's possible for me to like really love this game, but also feel like this game is inherently broken in a whole bunch of different ways. Like, there are natural slow game systems which exist, which seem to conflict with, like, the world of crafting games, which has emerged since Animal Crossing took hold the first time, on the GameCube. And so now we're not just being asked to, plant trees and fish and catch bugs, but now we must also craft the nets to catch the bugs and the rods to catch the fish. And it feels like just another throttling mechanism on top of a game which is full of throttling mechanisms, and that there's so many different things that can like slow down the player's experience. And I've kind of reached a point where I'm not sure if all of that player slowing is intentional. That like, it could just be that there are so many like random encounter tables that they don't realize how hard it is for a certain thing to happen for the players. Like, there are 595 unique DIY recipes in the game right now. As of today, there are 595. But, back to like mining data tables and finding things, the game does not reduce your odds of getting DIY recipes that you already have as you accumulate DIY recipes. So when you go and you grab that bottle off the beach, or you have a villager give you a DIY recipe, or you pop a present out of the sky and it happens to contain one, then the more DIY recipes you have, then the greater the odds that that's just going to be a colossal waste of time, because they're not doing anything to ensure that it's more likely that you'll get one that you don't have. And for stuff like the seasonal furniture, for like young spring bamboo, that can be like incredibly frustrating. Where you're like, okay, like I have a limited amount of time to craft stuff out of young spring bamboo. Oh, it's all gone now. Or you end up like Tegan and have 8 billion cherry blossoms sitting in inventory because you weren't able to round up all of the relevant recipes. And I can't believe in good conscience that all of that was intentional. That, like, it seems like there are so many different kinds of slowing systems layered on top of each other, and they're not all pleasurable to interact with. Like, I think I could say with some certainty that, like, as a longtime player of this franchise, like, I found the way the game made me slow down and chill out in some of the previous iterations was pleasurable. But sometimes it feels like this game grinds to a halt. Not because the game wants me to grind to a halt, but just because that there's so many plates spinning, it doesn't know what to give me access to right now.
So I agree with you insofar as, like, those things are not pleasurable to me and do not serve the way that I prefer to interact with most games. I will say, though, that going back to the whole communitarian thing, I think that a lot of the things that are frustrating for us as people who tend to play individually are things that are designed to increase community interaction in a society in which, I don't know, 1/3 of the country's population lives in one densely populated city and people are within public transport reach of each other. And it ends up, if you wanted to, quote-unquote, localize Animal Crossing in the way old games used to be localized, you would have to change drop tables like crazy to have the functions that you're talking about. And I'm not saying when I say like crazy, I'm not saying that, like, what you're saying is wrong or that it is out of board. I'm saying that they just have to do a lot of work that they could do, but I think they wanted to keep it similar across regions for better or worse. And, like, I kind of wish, being location aware, it would maybe, like, if you're in an area where people are significantly further from each other or it's less densely clustered, it would maybe, like, change your drop tables.
Yeah.
Or, like, depending on your amount of interaction.
Yeah. And the game even thinks that I travel... Like, the game rewards your Dodo Airline swag based on your frequency of use for Dodo Airlines. You'll occasionally get the thank you card in the mail from Dodo Airlines that says, like, we may be your only choice, but we're glad you did it. And, like, we'll include some bullshit from them. You know, at this point I have, like, a Dodo Airlines t-shirt, another Dodo Airlines shirt, and, like, a Dodo Airlines, like, eye mask that you put on when you're, like, riding the plane to try and sleep. And I don't feel like I've flown all that much. But I've already hit the 3rd benchmark for, like, getting Dodo swag in the mail. Which, you know, felt remarkable to me because I'm like, when I get on my plane, it's to go get some shit from some, like, animal farm capitalist and then, like, come home immediately, or to go to, like, Rocky and Tegan's town, or, like, I have another friend who has a 5-star town, and she gave me the full tour, and I've total got 5-star envy, but...
Another friend? Scandalous.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking. I was like, Brian has another friend?
Y'all are terrible.
It's not us? Offended.
But, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, the impression is that I got the impression that, like, I hardly travel in the game, and here I am on, like, the 3rd benchmark for Dodo shit. I really am curious about what you're talking about, Joe. Like, just, like, the way communities interact around, like, here in the United States, people got Animal Crossing New Horizons, and their first thought was, can I turn this jukebox into 30 Nook Mile tickets? You know? And is the question, do people in Japan get the jukebox and go, you know what? I bet my pal Richie would love this jukebox. I'm going to give this to my pal Richie. Like, is that what happens? Because
it's a very Italian-Japanese man.
Look.
Well, I mean, it is the land of Mario and Luigi Mario, so, like...
Right. You know, and Mario, he knows Richie Mario, and he's like, hey, Richie, he's a good guy. He might like this fucking jukebox. Richie, you want this?
I mean, also, Brian, like, we do that, you know? Like...
Yes. And that is markedly
That is
the
true.
exception
We do
for my
that.
Animal Crossing interactions. Like,
I gotta tell you, man, like, maybe that's your, like, experience, but it's not mine. Like, there are definitely a bunch of people who's like, hey, man, I realize you're making a restaurant. Like, I found this thing. Like, do you want it? Because I'm not gonna use it. It happens all the time. Like, it's garden variety. Like, it's, in my position, it's nearly as common as, like, the goofy shit I see, like, on Reddit. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, ubiquitous, man.
I feel okay. So Brian's talked about a Animal Crossing chat you guys are in. Spoilers: I'm also in this chat.
True.
One thing about it is, I think Brian's talking about some of the interactions that go on there, and while there definitely is the whole like, "Hey, what can you give me for it?" Something that's not obvious from that chat is that a lot of those people have smaller. I almost said kinship groups, but you know what? I'll go with it. Kinship groups. Mm-hmm. Within that, smaller networks where people do the trading non-monetarily as well. And the reason for the existence of that group was kind of like a opt-in, hey, we've made a social contract whereby this is how we do things, but you're able to do things outside of it if you'd like. I'm not saying Brian's wrong. I'm saying, though, that it depends on like previous networks, etc. And frankly, if I played more often, Brian, I would give you stuff. The thing is, I only play basically to hang out with people, not really so much on my own, because, like, again, the game's super not for me while I kind of like respect it, so it's much more of a social interaction for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd probably be engaging in some of the communitarian behaviors we're talking about right now.
Right.
Yeah, Joe only plays Animal Crossing socially. Fuck.
Yes.
Man. No, I can believe it. It's Tegan, it was you, Tegan, that, like, commented on, because of the pandemic, Animal Crossing has kind of been like this weird inversion of the Pokemon Go
Yeah, the Pokemon
phenomenon,
Go Summer.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, great. Nobody's going anywhere. Now here's the video game of nobody's going anywhere. And here we are. Like, Animal Crossing would not want to be what it is this time were it not for the pandemic. That's really weird. It's really, really weird because it feels like a lot of the fucking darkness that people are dealing with comes with them into Animal Crossing. Like, I want to pay off this fucking raccoon. I'm going to go for a walk because I can. Man. My favorite trade in order to build my drive-in movie theater in my town that I've encountered thus far was when I went to get my projector. I got off the plane to the person's town I went to, and coming out of the airport, they had put up a cute little custom sign which had a picture of two like outlines of a person on it, and then a double-sided arrow between them, and it showed 6 feet.
Oh,
and they were
cute.
wearing a doctor's mask.
That's cute.
Oh.
I was worried you were about to talk about people trading.
I have a whole doctor's outfit that I wear sometimes. Not often. I just think I look cute in it.
Do you mean the dark world of villager trading, Joe?
Yes, the incredibly dark world of villager trading that So Brian, I want to not take back, but I want to return to the thing we talked about, like the weird proto-capitalism aspect of Animal Crossing, where I do agree that there is a lot of that amongst people who don't know each other, and that I don't know if it occurs as much in Japan. And I definitely think the villager trading thing is like a huge part of that, and I wonder how much of that is people who are not normally quote-unquote Animal Crossing people getting into Animal Crossing this time simply because of the circumstance. And so it's like people from outside, quote-unquote, the culture coming in and like bringing like more gamified behavior into. I'm not saying that's everyone, Rocky. I know that some of this existed before. I'm just wondering how much it's shifted because of it.
Well, I mean, like, villager trading was pretty big pre-New Horizons. Like, there was definitely like a seedier underbelly. They had like networks, but like. It may be bigger because it may be easier or like more accessible as a technique, but like villager trading as like an impulse isn't like something that's distant from like Animal Crossing as a whole.
Well, and I'm sure like a lot of it started off innocent, you know? This person has a villager I want, and oh, they happen to be moving out today. Like, and they're gonna give them to me, so...
They're gonna give this person to you!
Give them...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna let this person move into my town instead of letting them be tossed back into the ether. And so, like, I should give them something nice for that, and so I'm going to give them something nice, and now there's just an entire ring.
But,
It's like that scene in The Other Guys where it's like, yeah, you know what? I was just trying to help out my friend. They had a job where they worked at night. And they just wanted someone to hang out and make sure everything went cool. And then like a week later, there were like 5 girls. That was a pimp.
God.
And I didn't know anything about getting into pimping, but here I am, selling Raymond for 1 million Nook Miles. And 900 bajillion bells.
Raymond is my friend. He is not my property.
Raymond isn't even the top villager anymore. Raymond's old
Wait,
news.
who's top villager now?
Marshall's top.
Oh God.
Well,
Marshall is the number 1 villager.
Do you think?
Him smug. It's all smug villagers it's smug and lazy villagers at the top. Marshall, Raymond, Sherb, Zucker, and Bo are your top 5.
So I think last week you guys were talking about the idea of like, you know, villagers who've returned to the ether and then come back, like they don't remember you and the like. And how sad that is. I was just thinking like, man, how great would it be if there was a villager who didn't remember but pretended to remember? And just like, it was just like, oh, hey, you know, even if it's their first time meeting you, they're like, oh, hey, Rocky, yeah, how's it going? It's been a while. And they just have to keep up this elaborate facade. And every time you talk to them, they're just uneasy. And they're like, yeah, old buddy.
Oh, God.
No, I don't think they'd be like that. That'd be weird.
I would be.
They'd be like, oh man, I haven't seen you for so long. What's it like back in Outset? No, I don't want to visit.
It's partially because I'm thinking of, oh God, I have Eugene, the koala. And he...
Oh, yeah, he's like a greaser, right?
He looks like a greaser. He has straight up the same personality and many of the same lines as Marshall, but he'll never be as popular because 1, he looks like a greaser. 2, he wears a suit. 3, if you go into his place, he has just a, like, 1970s, like, spy movie tape recorder at all times, to the point where I'm just like, dude, this guy's CIA, dude. He's a very weird villager.
He's a narc.
Yeah, I don't know. Very weird construction. I'm kind of wondering what his lines in Japanese are comparatively.
I want to see your koala fucking party with Keaton and see what happens. You know, like, I want your weird koala and my weird eagle to hang out.
Eugene is number 31 in tier 5.
I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry. He's a tier 4 villager. He's a tier 4 villager now. He's up from tier 5.
How many tiers are there?
There are 6 tiers.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's...
The last tier is just in alphabetical order.
But why? Well, okay, so if you could analogize...
Because no one cares. Once you're in tier 6, no one gives a shit.
It's like low tier, but not bottom tier.
Tier 5 also appears to be... Tier 5 also appears to be just in alphabetical order. Tier 4 is not.
If you could analogize him to, I don't know, a Street Fighter 2 character in terms of tier power, how would he go?
Street Fighter 2? Jesus.
I don't know what the tiers in Street Fighter 5 are.
I guess he's like... DJ
Oh.
or Honda?
He's like the top of the low tiers.
Okay, DJ and Honda sounds right.
Yeah.
He's like a Shockmaster or...
Oh my god.
All right, there we go. Yeah.
We're talking about the man in a spray-painted stormtrooper helmet who busted through a wall and fell over, right?
Yes, that is the man. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All praise to Shockmaster.
As part of one of my final projects in undergrad for a film degree, I made a 30-minute long YouTube poop, which prominently featured that guy busting through the wall multiple times and just like yelling the Shockmaster. And I mean, because I was a pretentious fuck, this 30-minute long YouTube poop was about the inadequacy of current copyright law. And every time I would bring a lawyer or scholar into the discussion and they'd be like, this criminalization has actually affected the ability of people to produce things in a way that matches fair use, Shockmaster would show up, fall through a wall, and they'd yell, the Shockmaster!
I like it. I'm into it. There is a painter whose work I collect. I've got like 3 of his paintings in my living room. Should be a 4th by the time I collect the mail today. Whenever people ask him what he is painting on Twitter, because he gets asked what he is painting, roughly, if you look at his ats, around 1,000 times a day, he has given up trying to answer this question sincerely, and he has an FAQ on his website that talks about how his painting plan is scheduled. But if somebody just, like, refuses to, like, stop asking, his answer is always, I'm painting the Shockmaster.
I wonder how many Shockmasters he has actually painted.
Not enough. He's got some, but not enough.
I now want an actual mural of that man.
Oh, God.
The Painter Man or the Shockmaster?
The Shockmaster.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of want to make a 3x3 grid in my town and surround it with the most beautiful hybrid flowers of the fucking Shockmaster.
Please do this.
Make the Shockmaster using the Island Designer app by raising and lowering the levels of your town and also using paths.
Ooh, it's tough.
Do it.
God, I just saw today how people use the Island Designer app to put up a single wall of a jail and then build up the walls around it to form a natural jail cell. And I'm so glad that the thing which has truly sparked innovation in Animal Crossing players is the building of a fucking jail. Good on ya, Animal Crossing players. I definitely don't want this to come across as I had on Joe so that way we could, like, kick Animal Crossing while it's down, because, like I've said, it is so far, like, easily my favorite game this year, but it really strikes me, like, how I'm interacting with this game so differently than I have previous Animal Crossings. Like, I kind of feel like in order to play this Animal Crossing, you have to get involved at some point in the seedy underbelly of Animal Crossing. Like, you're gonna get in this shit. Just how dirty do you want to get? And that's a real fucking vibe. It sounds like Joe has remained pure. But that's just because, you know, he only plays Animal Crossing when he drinks and smokes.
Jeez, we're doing no Animal Crossing purity tests
Yeah,
now?
that's what we're doing.
Oh my god.
Yep. I have a promise ring for Crazy Red.
Disgusting. You know he stole that. You literally know he would have stolen that. Or
So you're
forged
telling
it.
me
Actually-
the promise ring I wear for Crazy Red was stolen?
Probably. Probably from Reese. How rude.
Reese would wear a fucking promise ring.
Are we...
Reese would, and it would be from Cyrus, and it would be good.
Wait a minute. Why isn't Cyrus taking Reese to Pound Town?
You can't do that in Animal Crossing. That's not
Why?
legal.
No!
Well,
Tegan...
also, Tegan,
No one
it is
fucks
legal,
in
but
Animal Crossing.
but it would be legally yiffing, and like I don't think we want to go there.
All right.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's why. It's because it's not Pound Town. It's legal yiffing.
It's yiffing.
I mean, Pound...
These animals are... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Pound Town is only for dogs.
Yeah, and they're alpacas. So like, I almost
Yeah.
called them llamas. Oh my god, could you imagine? Speciesist Tegan over here calling them the wrong
So
species.
you don't think that Cyrus
oh
is
my God.
alpacking it in and just like...
Oh god, disgusting.
Nice.
No, he sleeps all day. And he works all night.
I'll tell you why he's sleeping all day, because he is a fuck machine.
No, he's not. They'd have alpaca kids by now then, and they definitely do not.
You don't know that? They could be at fucking boarding school.
You think for one moment that Reese would send her children to boarding school?
Does it get
Magical
him away from
boarding
those
school.
fucking Nook kids?
The Nooklings are good.
What are you trashing the Nooklings for, man?
Why are
They're
you
upstanding
trashing
members
the
of society.
They follow me around like I steal.
You do steal.
They're just trying to be helpful. Like, Jesus.
Really?
They're
really?
just trying to exemplify literal Japanese customer
They got
service.
a 2-on-1 me? Like, and I gotta tell you, that shit really stands out whenever the game spawns another villager in the shop. And you're like, hey, what's going on, Marcy? I see they don't treat you like a fucking thief.
I mean, you know,
Okay.
you've never been to Japan.
oh,
You've never.
oh
you've
my
never
God,
had
Tegan,
them
did you
follow
just
you
say-
around in the shop, and that's literally what they do with foreigners. It's
Rocky, I
amazing.
still don't have ad access. Please add, you've never been to Japan to the list of titles.
Okay,
Jesus
You
so
haven't,
Christ.
I'm just saying, it's like it's a thing that Japanese shop people do when there
Tegan,
are
and I'm
foreigners
not-
in the store.
Tegan, I'm
like,
not even fucking disputing that. We're just back to Animal Crossing being sloppy. which is that, like, if they want these raccoons up my ass because that's customer service in Japan, then that's fine. I guess what I'm saying is it would make more sense if when I walk into the fucking store and Marcy's there, they're up Marcy's ass, and then they split up one-on-one apiece now that they have 2 customers. The fact that, like, they're just sitting around like a bunch of fucking addle-brained idiots until I walk in, ignoring Marcy, makes it stick less and makes me put my Western-ass assumptions on it.
Well, also, Marcy doesn't ever buy anything.
Wow.
You're the only one who spends any money.
Oh, God damn it. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh, God. I'm gonna eat all the drugs and just fucking die.
Man. So
I can't believe this is what finally did it.
So Tegan, I know what you're saying is true, but like the one time I went to Japan for like a week, I didn't really get that much like hassling, and I'm wondering if it's like they look for people who are more specifically like white. I don't know.
So fucking foreign because
so fucking foreign. Yeah, like I'm like at least like you might be from some other part of Asia. I'm not exactly sure where.
Right, and you definitely don't look like you'd be like Korean or Chinese or whatever, something that they'd be like actively racist against, as opposed to me, who's just like, hello, I am white and probably do not understand what any of these things say.
So my girlfriend who was there with me is Chinese, but I wonder if it's like if you're a girl, they'll be it's less common to have that.
They're just like more lenient about it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Maybe.
This is highly off topic.
Sorry.
Let's talk
about
how
topics
racist
anymore, guys.
Timmy and Tommy are.
I know, right? Like, what is that?
No, I mean, guys, the PS5 will be here next week to save us. It's all right.
Oh, God, you're right.
PS5 isn't going to save anyone.
No, the PS5 Pressed event is happening next week on the 4th that we get to roast. So,
yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep. Tune in next episode for us to shit on the PS5.
Again.
God. But yeah, like, I kind of feel like this conversation about, like, whether or not people crawl up your ass in the Lawsons is fine because it's relevant to, the Animal Crossing experience.
Not in the Lawsons, in like the regular show.
God damn it! I can't even make a fucking.
The Lawsons are special occasion. They're just a convenience store. Like,
oh my God,
no one gives a shit. You're in there. It's 2 a.m. It's the middle of winter. Who gives a fuck?
Dear Diary.
Tegan. Oh, sorry, yeah. Brian.
No.
Go ahead.
No, fine. I was just telling my diary I couldn't go on. Please, sir, please.
Dear Lord. I was just going to say, Tegan, I wouldn't be surprised if people in Lawson's, if they knew where you were from, would actually be really keen to approach you. Simply because Lawson's is from where we're from.
Lawson's is from where we're from. Why isn't there a Lawson's, like a Japanese-style Lawson's in the U.S., like up here, where we're from? That'd be nice.
That would be super convenient. In Ohio, I know, there are none.
Yeah. There are none Lawson's now. I would like a Lawson's back that, like, I can pay my bills at and collect mail from and go at 2 a.m. and pick up a snack. So you want to pay your power bill and get a corn dog at 2 a.m? Yeah. Have you heard of 7-11?
I mean,
dude, if I have a 7-11, I wouldn't be asking for a Lawson's. There are no 7-Elevens in Ohio anymore, I don't think. There might be some, like, around Columbus, but we don't really have corner stores up here.
Damn, not even, like, bodegas? Fuck.
Not even no, there's none a bodega. None bodega. Damn. Maybe one in Cleveland, but, like, none around here. I have to drive everywhere for everything all the time.
Like, we have gas stations where sometimes they'll have, like, little taquerias in them, which is really dope.
What is that?
A taqueria?
What is that?
It's a place where you buy tacos.
Oh.
But, you know, they...
Fancy taco. Not a Taco Bell taco, which is the only kind of tacos around here.
Taco Bell, like, they have their niche, and they do good business, and they're good to their employees, so I'm not going to trash them today. But, like, their food isn't exactly Mexican food, it's just food. Taquerias do really good tacos. They do gorditas, too, which is, like, kind of rare these days. And on some weekends, they'll have sopapillas, which is really cool.
I don't know what any of those things are, but they all sound better than Taco Bell.
Gorditas are, like... they're like, oh no, darn it, what are those things called?
Describe it.
Okay, it's like a pocket, like a baked bread pocket.
Oh, are you thinking of pupusas?
Not pupusas.
I know that gorditas are not like papusas, but
Yeah, because they're sliced. No, but there's like it's like a Greek dish, but instead of like the meat,
gyro.
Oh,
Like a gyro?
Yeah, gyro.
Maybe like I remember
A
like something
gyro.
green being in them.
You remember what?
Something green being in them, like kind of like a poppy seed or something. No, that's not poppy seed. I don't understand. It's something that I had like years ago. I can't remember. But like gorditas are like a bread pocket that's like sliced open, and they like stuff it with like meat and like salad fixins and cheese. Sopapillas are like fried bread that is allowed to inflate with like the hot air, and like you just dip it in honey, and like that's how it's eaten. It's
Oh,
usually
that sounds
flaky.
great. That sounds amazing.
It is.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds- I will take 10 of those. I'll eat them right now. I just ate dinner, but I'll eat them again.
Wait, how did you just eat dinner? It's like
I mean, really, I just ate lunch, but you know,
okay.
it's
but yeah.
almost, that's practically dinner for me. I don't usually eat lunch or breakfast, so.
I'm still waiting for Impossible Con so you can eat this stuff over here.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's gonna be good. I can't wait. I'm excited to be like, I don't like this one ingredient, so I don't know if I want to eat it.
Nah, we'll probably just stuff Tegan full of like desserts.
Desserts.
Yeah,
Yes.
like sopapillas and like pan dulces and like those like rolled like lemon stuffed burrito things. Those things are great. They like it's like a burrito, Tegan, but it's like a rolled pastry. It's filled with like lemon or cherry jelly and then like covered in powdered sugar.
That sounds great. That sounds right up my alley.
Real
Also-
quick.
Perfect.
Yo, Brian, have you ever been to Barrio Queen?
I have.
Okay. Barrio Queen's goddamn... God, what the fuck? Their churros, full of sweet goat cheese. Tegan, you need this. It's like the best thing on the planet.
I don't like goat cheese.
But it's sweet goat cheese. It's not savory.
Well, I know, but I also don't like cream cheese, and cream cheese is just sweet
Okay.
cheese
I
stuff.
can respect that.
So, like,
I understand now. Have some horchata.
I'll give it a shot.
Horchata!
I will try everything you feed me once, unless it has something I absolutely abhor.
For sure.
I think
Or fish. I will not. I won't do it if it has fish.
I think-
you don't
Remember that
want
one
me to
time
do
that
it if
Tegan
it
asked
has
us if
fish.
barbacoa was a fish?
No, I know what barbacoa is.
No, I know now. But that was a good time.
I'm sorry, what was the name of that fucking restaurant in Ohio that we were briefly sponsored by for 2
La
weeks?
Bamba. El
Yeah, La
Bamba.
Bamba.
Bamba tacos and rum.
Bamba, tacos and rum.
Tacos and rum.
Wait, is this real?
No, we weren't. We
just
were not
lied
really
about it.
sponsored.
We just
We
did
weren't
fake
really
ads for
sponsored.
them, I guess.
Yeah, we just did 2 weeks of like fake ads for this fucking real restaurant. We're like, come to Bamba, tacos and rum. Like listing off specials, hours of operation, their physical location, the whole bit.
I don't think... Did we do the physical location?
Yes, we did.
God
We
damn
did a
it.
vagueness of the physical location, so you could Google it and find it, but not like a specific address.
Yeah.
Okay. That I remember.
On this topic of like Tegan and Barrio, I think that the way I would go is not Barrio Queen, but to go to Barrio Cafe Gran Reserva.
Is that surviving Corona? Because I
Jesus.
seem to remember there was some issue.
Big terrifying.
I mean, Chef Silvana. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys, time for some fucking under the hood talk about restaurants in Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Phoenix is a town which has,
So much food.
by and large, mostly a bad restaurant scene.
That's lame.
But if you are a person who is comfortable putting things in your mouth, which is not like, say, oh, I don't know, Fiesta shrimp poppers.
Those are good though.
Oh, God damn it, Tegan, I swear to fucking Christ.
They are.
If you're willing to put things in your mouth, which are not like the Fiesta shrimp poppers and the potato skins and so forth, you're able to find some options. And like Chef Silvana, who runs this particular place, Barrio Cafe, is in addition to being an incredible chef, an extraordinary pillar of the city I live in, I wish I was fucking half as cool as Chef Silvana. She is always out there like doing the right shit, saying the right shit, contributing in the right way.
She rules.
Yes, she is fucking awesome. You want to hear someone say like cool, angry shit and build their community in the right way? She is the fucking hero. Yep, and it looks like Gran Reserva did not survive the fucking COVID. God damn it. One more COVID victim. Gran Reserva. I swear to fucking Christ.
It was a great place.
God. This fucking... I just realized like how much of a prick it makes me just like, here I am lamenting the death of this fine dining restaurant in this pandemic. Like, No, she made the right decision closing it.
I can understand lamenting it though, because it's a minority-owned business in a part of town that's like slowly like revitalizing, and that for a long time was just like closed up shops. So like it is sad.
She has made such a focus of like making the revitalization of Kaye 16 as the money comes in, that there are minority-owned businesses, that there are, you know, women-owned businesses, that there are queer businesses, and she's just fucking phenomenal human being. Like, in fact, I will say this, like, whenever Impossible Con does happen, Barrio Cafe is definitely happening. Because the 16th Street location does continue to survive. That's absolutely got to happen. And what I was thinking about, like, something for Tegan, something mild and brunchy, which is the wheat la coche omelet, and then following that up with a little bit of flan. And I think that
I like flan.
will then get some made right. So,
Damn.
Excuse me? Like, I don't know when a flan is made correctly, excuse me. Rude.
I'm just saying, I'm going to pleasure the buds.
I don't know if we're gonna say it like that, though.
Yeah. Brian, I'm curious, like, why you're not, like, such a fan of the Phoenix food scene. I don't think it's great, but I do think that there are some things that we're surprisingly good at, or at least have one... Okay, actually, here. I will say that for a lot of cuisines, there is at least one place that is exceedingly good, but then there's not more than one that even exists, really. Like,
Okay, and that's fair. I guess it's more like Phoenix's willingness to subsume, destroy, and eradicate cuisine types in favor of building more office buildings or places. Yes. Probably nothing more exemplary of that than, like, Phoenix's relationship with Chinese culture.
Yes.
You'll be just hanging out and be like, gosh, I sure do want to participate in Phoenix's Chinese community in any kind of way. Which Phoenix will say, well, you could come stand sadly by the side of the road while we bulldoze this strip mall or that strip mall or this neighborhood. Like, it's fucking bonkers. Like, and the thing is it's just like how brazenly Phoenix's like city council and various like building authorities will talk about just like tearing down an apartment complex with like a largely Chinese population or a strip mall. Rocky, Tegan, this is Phoenix in a nutshell, right? So when Phoenix tore down its original Chinatown, okay? Mm-hmm. They're like, hey guys, here's a consolation prize. Here's a Chinese cultural center. It's our special way of saying, we know that we eminent domained all your valuable real estate downtown and destroyed years of culture. But hey, here's this Chinese cultural center. Does Phoenix A call it a day? Or B, eventually get trigger happy for the valuable real estate of the Chinese Cultural Center and then eminent domain that?
That one. I'm going with that one.
That's the one, guys. That's the one.
It's a very special
Isn't that
place.
great, Joe?
Yeah, it's real good. I mean,
Yeah.
So most of the community had kind of moved on already, but that's not like a good reason for it to have been eminent domained anyways. And like they had moved to other areas of the metro area. Like the displacement's still not good, but like there was a combination of factors there. I'm still pissed off at the Phoenix City Council doing that instead of in any way trying to revitalize it. But yeah.
Right. And it's like, congratulations, you effectively got Phoenix's Chinese population to flee to Mesa. No one should want to go to Mesa.
Why is Mesa worse? Is there traffic worse than Phoenix?
Well, Tegan, let me ask you a question and I'll let you know why you don't want to go to Mesa.
Uh-huh.
Are you aware that Jesus came to the Americas?
No, I was not aware that Jesus came to America, Brian. Can you explain to me?
Well, don't worry. If you live in Mesa, you'll probably hear about it on the reg.
Oh my god. Where did Jesus go?
All over. He preached to, various native tribes who at the time looked whiter for some reason.
Oh my god.
So picture this. The 5th largest city in America is bulldozing every street where your culture exists, tearing down apartment buildings, tearing down businesses, just fucking your shit up. And the place where your coin will stretch far enough to open up a shop and buy your family a house is fucking Mesa. And so you're like, oh, okay, great. Fantastic. This will be just charming. Now my neighbors come 2x2 on bicycle and fuck me up. Like, just, oh, God. God. Good job, Phoenix City Council.
Did you know? I know I've told you guys that that humans and dinosaurs lived alongside each other, right?
Yeah, that's come up.
And you can see the actual Noah's Ark in fucking in fucking Kentucky, or like right by like the Cincinnati, Kentucky border.
Is that more or less important than the fact that hell is real?
You know, it's a different segment of Hell is Real. Like Hell is Real is definitely like the landmark.
So, guys, Maneater's a good video game.
Yeah, is it?
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the tricking out of my fucking shark. Well, I can now, like, breathe outside of the water indefinitely.
Oh my god.
Are you a land shark of sorts?
And so there's a part on the giant open world map which is shitty, obvious parody of SeaWorld. And so, like, early on in the game, you get a mission to kill 10 employees of fake SeaWorld.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, I like this mission. But, like, at the time, I didn't really have the resources to do it because it would have required, like, a bunch of, like, really weird, tricky breaching with my shark. Like, breach, chomp on the way up, and then go back down in the water. And so it was like, I do this long enough, the weird Cajun hunters are going to become aware of me, and, like...
Imagine they come into SeaWorld to fight.
Yeah, and like I'm still working on getting the resources for dealing with the weird Cajun hunters because they're like in game. So like one day I'm just tooling along the bottom and I found this fucking thing and it was just like activate this idol and it grants a wish and then my shark can now breathe outside of the fucking water, which means that I just literally flopped my ass around fake SeaWorld, terrifying people and eating anybody in a polo shirt. And I tell you what, there's going to be some real miracle shit between now and the end of the year, because right now, my game of the year conversation is entirely about two fucking video games. The one where, like, I have to sell my fucking soul in order to get access to, like, Prisoner Sahara, and my fish justice simulator.
So, I'm not gonna lie, based on your discussion of the game previously, I had assumed this was a 2D pixel art game. It is blowing my mind to see that this is a pretty fully realized 3D world.
Oh yeah.
And holy shit, this is like, did you ever play Evo the Search for Eden?
Yup.
This is fucking like, what if you made Evo the Search for Eden good? Fucking, this is the Yakuza to, what was that
Shenmue.
game series?
Shenmue.
Yeah, this is the Yakuza to Shenmue of fucking Evo the Search for Eden. What the fuck?
Honestly, I feel like Yakuza is a really good pull for that, because this game gets weird in so many ways that it feels like a Yakuza game. Like, the persistent narration, like this is a Discovery Channel show, is amazing. The writing is really snappy. The Maneater is as funny as the writers of Grand Theft Auto think Grand Theft Auto is.
Damn.
Yeah. Strong reco. It kind of feels like a product of like a bygone era too, Joe. Like, do you remember like when $40 games used to be like a regular part of the marketplace, like during like the PS2 era and yeah, just like that boom of AA, the AA boom. And then all of a sudden, when we got to like the next generation and like the cost of development reached like stratospheric points and like a whole bunch of studios shuttered and it was like, hey, it's $60 or fuck off. And we had to like wait for like AA to get built back out again. Well, like this is really refreshing because this is the kind of like wild and crazy shit that used to come out of like AA studios like all the time. And this feels like a AA video game in all the best ways. Like, weird ideas that like bigger studios would never greenlight because they're too risky, but like executing them with like a budget that like three guys in pixel art could never like achieve. It's fun.
Where is this available?
Pretty much.
Is it just PS4 or is it
PS4, Xbox One, PC, and there will be a Switch release imminently.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you hadn't said the Switch thing, I was considering getting it on PC. Yeah, it sounds really good, and I like the description of AA games is because I do miss that time. God.
Yeah, we could get, like, weird shit like Cubivore, you know, like, It's like,
The original Katamari Damacy?
Yeah, it's so weird, too, because, like, you encounter so many people who are just pining for that shit. And I kind of feel like that whole, like, peak era of, like, AA was really set off by, like, the Dreamcast. Because so many people who bothered to develop for the Dreamcast were just throwing weird shit that obviously had a budget at it. Like, one of the last, like, mascot platformers that I think I enjoyed playing was Super Magnetic Neo for the Dreamcast, where you were a little dude with a magnet on his head. And so, like, you got to, like, do shit like game the height of your jump by, like, jumping near stuff that would interact with the magnetic poles on the top of your head.
I've never heard of this game, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. I just think that, like, that generation, you know, that Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, GameCube generation, which is when we got, like, fistfuls of weird shit all the time. I mean, Christ, that was the generation where Kojima says, like, hey guys, can I do a game that requires being played in direct sunlight? And someone said, sure, do it. Fuck it. Whatever. We can have that game. We can have that game.
Brian, you were probably much better aware of game industry trends at the time than I was, but was this around the time that a lot of the game designers who had left games for multimedia came back?
Yep.
Okay, that explains a lot that I never put two and two together.
Yep. A lot of those shops which had set up in the early to mid-90s, which had such heavy recruiting in the games industry, had effectively shut down by that point. Another thing that was, like, really wild was, like, Trip Hawkins had really been hoarding a bunch of talent for 3DO first party, which is a weird thing. And then all of a sudden to, like, see that giant pool of talent, which was all really desirable people too, because of, like, the pedigree of the people who had gone to 3DO. You know, so many of them coming from, like, EA and Activision back when that didn't necessarily make you shudder and flinch. You know, flooding back onto the market meant that we got, like, stuff like the Army Men series, which was, like, good for a lot longer than it was bad. Oh, man. I think that we probably would never have gotten the skateboarding game boom without that period. Because just the amount of time that they let people take, like, tinkering around under the hood, making a fucking skateboard game, just throwing, like, weird shit in them. And it wasn't just the skateboarding games, like, all of the, like, the Matt Hoffman games and all of the other, like, weird extreme sport games were, like, strangely deep and full of shit. And just like, yeah, okay, whatever, we're a staff of 30, and we're nowhere near as expensive as the guys over there making Medal of Honor, but, there's still a ton of shit in this. So yes, Maneater. Play Maneater. It's great. Fucking kill the people in Fake SeaWorld. Do it by flopping, I promise you. Joe, what are you playing?
So I haven't been playing as much as I'd like to. I've definitely been letting my podcast get the better of my free time, which has been a problem. But when I have been playing things, it's been Animal Crossing, which we've already talked to death. And I've been playing, Jackbox stuff with some friends over Discord. And also over Discord have been playing some board games like, Hanabi?
Okay.
Yeah, like, do you guys, have you guys been engaging with board games a lot during the pandemic? Like digital board games?
I have been for work. I'm in a weird situation where, like, I actually work with people that I like now.
Damn.
Which is neat. We have, as a team, made a regular effort to, like, get together and play games together online. The first time we used our, like, proprietary internal company chat client for the chatting, and then one of us, like, did a stream on Mixer. We didn't even use the company's fucking... Jeez, wow. It just occurred to me, like, that's hilarious. We didn't stream on Twitch. We streamed on Mixer. And then after that, we got better at, like, just managing everything through the chat client, because our chat client is pretty robust. But yeah, like, I've done, like, I'd say I've been board gaming online with my coworkers at least every other week, sometimes more frequently.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A question about that. What sort of platform have you been using to do that? Because I've definitely run into some ethical issues. Like, obviously legal issues, but that's just kind of like par for the course with the emulation of board games. Because, like, I'm at a point in my life where I have enough money where I feel like I should pay for, like, every single board game I try to play online or whatever, even if I'm not using the official servers. And it's been bothering me how much the proliferation of things like Board Game Simulator, which has totally unlicensed versions of a bunch of games. God, what are some of the others? Like, there's some sites that have, like, digital versions of board games, and it really bothers me that a lot of the clients made for Steam and Android weren't built for streamable multiplayer, and I guess that's, like, a failure on maybe their part in certain ways, but, like, it really bothers me that a lot of people are engaging in these games in a way that will never get back to the original producers.
Right. So what we've been doing is we do not immediately go hunting for, like, I'll be polite and call it the no-cost solutions. We do not go looking for the no-cost solutions. And in situations where, like, a single license will cover us as a group based on, like, the language of the manufacturer's website, what has generally happened in that case has been our team leader will just soak it and he'll pick it up. In cases where, like, more than one of us would need to pick up a license, we kind of figure out, like, oh, okay, like, well, 2 of us need it or 3 of us need it. Or are there 2 or 3 of us who actually think that we would play it outside of the context of, like, this drinking game? And if the answer is yes, then that game will get added and one of us will buy it. And, and if not, then we'll just move on to something that requires, like, less licenses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to talk more with you offline about that with regards to, like, the mechanics and the like. But if you had, like, a list of 3 single license games just off the top of your head that you would recommend people look into in, the quarantine type scenario, though a lot of states are lifting restrictions because people suck, like, what games would you kind of recommend for single license?
I go with what's easy. And I would say that, like, a Jackbox Party Pack is the way to go, because a Jackbox Party Pack is designed to operate with a single license. And then all other players just going to the Jackbox website, where they just go to jackbox.tv on their phone and are prompted to put in the 4-digit code for the room that they'll be playing in, which is on screen. It's designed from the ground up with the ideal functionality being a single licensed user and everybody else on their phones. And since everybody has a smartphone now, unless you're in, like, some really weird group where there's, like, one guy and his name is, like,
Matthias
Engelhort. Unless you're playing with Matthias Engelhort, who's like, my phone flips, you're going to be fine. They have enough variety in game types now in the more current packs that, like, you're no longer just, like, playing the one game where, like, haha, someone's going to write fuck as an answer over and over again. One that pops to mind in the most recent party pack, which is like a murder mystery themed trivia game, where the premise of the game...
Trivia?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have played this one. That's a good one.
Yeah, where, like, they have, like, a variety of, like, horror movie premises. There was, like, one round where we played it, and, like, the game felt like Saw, and then we played it another time, and the game felt like the movie Clue. The t-shirt game is a lot of fun, because if everybody has a really good time, it's, like, very easy to, like, one-button order the dumb t-shirt that you made.
I've played that one. I don't think any of my friend group should ever order any of those t-shirts.
Yeah. But you know what? There's going to be somebody out there whose friend groups aren't your friend groups.
Yes.
Yeah. I would not have said this about Jackbox, like, even 5 years ago. But they have done a much better job of, like, differentiating the experience between individual games in the party pack. And also, they did a bunch of stuff around, like, being intentionally not shitty. When the COVID hit, in fact, let me check. So I don't want to speak out of turn, and I don't want to, like, make it sound like they're better than they are. Yeah, like, literally the first word on the website is, like, COVID-19 social distancing. Like, they basically know that they are the best equipped people out there right now. The party packs are, like, $25, and you get, like, 5 to 6 games in each party pack. Again, I must stress, do not buy party packs 1 through 4, because I don't think they had gotten the formula quite right yet. But party packs 5 and 6, you're good. Also, all of the individual games they've thrown on sale. And one of the things that was, like, good on them was, like, when we first entered lockdown, they made Jackbox Party Pack 6 free for a month. So from, like, the last week of March through, like, the last week of April, you could just go pick up Party Pack 6 and have a permanent license forever, just as long as you downloaded it within that 30-day window. So I think that would probably be my first, second, and third place recommendations for thing right now that only requires a single license. Rocky, Tegan, is there anything that springs to mind for y'all?
I mean, we haven't been playing with people. I don't like people. Remember that conversation I had last week where I was like, I don't like people, don't talk to me?
I've actually been having a lot of fun with Apex over the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm still playing it. Their event right now, like, it's still like mainly Battle Royale, but they're doing like a kind of secondary PvE thing going on, which is kind of cool. It's not exactly consistent. The way it works is that like there are like items that you can pick up while playing normal games, and by picking those up you gain access to like a sort of like story event that's going on that plays out in PvE like sections. They're not especially crazy, but they're kind of fun. Outside of that, I've just been trying to play a couple of the other fighting games that have been showing up, especially since like those fighting herds and like Second Encore, Skullgirls Second Encore has like gotten a bit of a bump in like player base because they got announced for Evo, and like they have very fervent fan bases, and like them fighting herds is actually a pretty decent game. It's kind of neat, and like it's really surprising how a lot of these like goofy ass horses seem to like fit like old school fighting game like character archetypes. Like there's like a horse Magneto that's actually pretty crazy. But Apex, while it is free, I think both of those fighting games require multiple licenses. But the games themselves, I think they're constantly on sale. I think Skullgirls is like at $10 right now, but I think it's like $5 on Humble or something.
I think that Joe was hunting for things that were specifically trying to evoke the board game experience.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Especially since like Nintendo's putting out the new Clubhouse thing. Like, I'm happy they have Mahjong, but
Wait. So, sorry, I don't understand. Like, what's Clubhouse doing with regards to board
actually,
games?
I'm not sure if it's like Clubhouse as a studio. There's like a game coming out on Switch where there's like a compilation pack.
It's like a 51 game pack.
Right. And that's like going for like $25. Yeah.
Oh,
but,
like
that's not
classics?
out yet. It's like available for pre-purchase, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, I think they missed the boat on getting the right
Well,
time
I mean,
I
for
think
that.
it's going to launch next month, but I don't remember.
But, I mean, they may have done that, but they did manage to get the game of the pandemic, so... Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens with Animal Crossing after this and how much they care about the circumstance it came out in.
What?
But yeah, no, sounds good. I'll definitely... So I have one of the Jackbox games. I'll get some of the others. Yeah, I was definitely thinking more board game specific just because, the licensing thing's such a problem. And, like, streaming breaks a lot of games because, like, unless you ask people to turn away from the screen during your turn, they'll just see your fucking cards and shit.
I mean, and I suppose you could, like...
Goofy as hell.
Come up with a whole bunch of, like, goofy overlays that you just, like... hit a button and like, haha, now my screen is hid while I do this thing. But that's so lame. It's definitely like taking away from, I think one of the things that is like a goal with digital board games is to try and, as little as possible, not complicate the experience more than it would be to play the game physically. And so like whenever you play a digital board game and you're like, well, I would much rather just like, I guess, find whoever else is in my house and then play a game with them because this is boring and bad. I'm definitely with it, Joe, on that asking people to turn away shit because that's such bad board game ergonomics. And I'm sorry that I'm just stuck on Jackbox, and I think it's just because they do it so well. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's what they're designing for. There's some stuff on the PlayStation that springs to mind. There is...
Oh, I just remember there's another game that I played a bit of, or maybe I'll get to it right now. So I played the demo for FF7 Remake. Did any of you guys play through that or are playing through it?
I played through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wait, Rocky, did you answer? I put something up on Facebook about talking about my initial experience with it and just like how like it felt kind of clunky to me. Were you one of the people who told me about how it changes over time?
I don't think I said that, but I do connect with that idea. Like, you do get like a lot more tools that make combat and gameplay a bit more fluid.
Yeah, that initial mission feels so bad. Just like how bullet spongy everyone is. Like, if you tell people like it takes a long time to kill people, they'll be like, oh, do you want it to be easier? It's like, I'd actually like it if it was harder and it just took less time to kill dudes. I know that it does over time, but like apparently, according to my friends, a lot of the options for how to make fights take less time don't open until after that mission, which makes it feel like a really bad demo.
Yeah, I get that. I think the way that I read it was that the demo it's like talking to people who are used to like action combat systems like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15, but it's like immediately putting new tools in their hands, and like the enemies are spongier to like allow more time to acclimate to those like interlocking systems.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think it's not a great demo for just like picking up and playing, but like for people who are like familiar with Nomura's work, however you feel about it, is like giving you like time to adjust to like the new tools that are available. Because the game itself does speed up like exponentially, honestly. Barrett and Tifa's kits really open up once you like actually get to play with them a bit. I actually don't really like Cloud that much. And Eris is cool, I guess, but like she's mostly just like pretty healer.mp4 or whatever.
Oh, really? Because I thought I had heard that they had kind of expanded, well, not expanded her personality. I think I had heard that they effectively relocalized her to be actually closer to the Japanese version and give her more of a personality than she had in the initial very hollow English translation.
Oh, no. Like, her voice acting and, like, her, like, character development is actually really great, but her gameplay isn't anything special.
So, okay, her gameplay is healer.mp4. Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm just imagining playing this podcast to someone in the 90s and just saying that after FF7 the first time came out, and they're like, what the fuck does healer.mp4 mean?
Wait, back then wasn't, like... No, I think MP3s were, like, coming into practice, but weren't MP2s, like, around?
MP2s were around, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember MPEG Layer 2. I definitely almost said MPEG Layer 2, which is the name of my new Dojin. Oh god, no. The name of my new JoJo Dojin.
Oh, god.
Please say it. And I'm still stuck on the name of this goddamn PlayStation game. Remember how Until Dawn became virtually a party game because of the way people were playing it?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, this was a Sony first-party title that, like, riffed on that. It was like, oh, okay, so what people are doing with these games is, you know, sitting around and, you know, making them social and Hidden Agenda. Thank Christ. Oh, God. I was gonna fucking die. But Hidden Agenda takes what Until Dawn was, which was a game where one person played it, but generally a room full of people shouted at them and telling them what to do, and kind of further gamifies the social aspect of it, where they like create like a voting popularity-based thing, and then they create situations where it's like, okay, well, you know, now you're going to be in this situation, but everybody has to agree. You know, it has to be unanimous. And then creating like challenge situations where like you can earn these like challenge coins. And then if you like don't like the way a particular decision is going with the group, you can like spend your challenge coin. I remember when I was playing through Hidden Agenda with some people, there was like some escalating comedy of like, well, so-and-so spends a challenge coin, and then somebody else spends a challenge coin, and then somebody else spends a challenge coin. And because of the way you play Hidden Agenda, it doesn't require someone to be comfortable playing a video game, if that makes sense.
Oh, interesting. Like, what is the moment-to-moment action? Like, is it just choosing without, like, QuickTime events? Like,
you know, to be fair, like, the way that you earn the challenge coins is QuickTime events, but the way you're managing the QuickTime event is by tapping the screen on your phone, which is something which, like, people are just intrinsically more comfortable doing just because they're like, oh, this is a phone, I'm comfortable touching this. Like, that kind of, like, space that people will put themselves into in their head if you hand them a controller and say, tap this button at the right moment. they don't really have that fear if you hand them their own goddamn phone and say to do the same thing. And those don't come along too often. The challenge sequences where you earn the coins are like very lightly spread throughout the game. It's much more of like the kind of cool conversation driver for your group. Like, oh, what are we going to do? And the game also has like a ton of different endings. So it also has that like choose your own adventure vibe to it. Where you're like, oh, we got this ending. That ending's fucked up. Let's do it again. Like, so it's a game which like, also, which I think for this, you know, these uncertain times, a game which has like significant replayability is also a good thing. So I think people would probably enjoy like digging through that game a couple times and, you know, seeing what kind of endings they come up with. So yeah, there you go. I'm sorry it took me forever and I probably killed 1,000 brain cells getting it, but hidden agenda.
Definitely interested. Man, that does sound like I'm very curious to play that at some point. Maybe the four of us could like do something together sometime. Maybe not that game, but like we should all do that at some point.
Also, like, I know this is very much something which is video game. I'm about to recommend a video game that feels like a video game. But it is also a video game which I feel like is due to have a renaissance in these uncertain times because of the fact it only requires a single license. And that's A Way Out.
Oh, okay.
Look, this podcast is a long-established fan of that game. It very heavily dominated our best moment category one year. And if you've never been through it, strong reco. I played through the game entirely twice because I played through it with Rocky and I played through it with Tegan. It was an absolute pleasure both times. It is a great way to spend several hours socially with a person. Tons of fun. And I would say that the two playthroughs I had, there were things in common, but like it definitely kind of like revealed the way that like, you know, Rocky and Tegan approach games. While playing with Tegan, there was a moment where our characters were tasked with like fishing. We had to get fish. And
oh yeah, and I just was like, boom, done.
Right. But then, you know, later on in the same playthrough, when we got to the drug lord's mansion, you were like, could you please murder the men, please?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you were like,
please murder the men. I can't do it.
Yeah, you kind of like issued the memo. You're like, please murder the men. And then when I played through with Rocky, we identified the two-player mechanic for catching the fish. Where it's like,
there is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there was. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we were just like, what?
Right. And it's like, it's like because this part of the ground rises out of the creek here, if what one of us does is chase the fish here, then there's a choke point, and then the second person can just grab a fish. So it's like using the terrain to guide the fish. And it's like one of the first major opportunities the game has after the going back to back up the shaft in the prison to really, really say like, hey, you're going to do some stuff which is going to like both require you to do stuff mechanically at the same time. And it was like definitely one of the most satisfying gaming experiences I had in a long time. The narrative was really good. It never exposes the player to such a level of stress as to like take you out of the fun of an entirely cooperative experience. And even though some of the notes that it hits are predictable, the way it gets to them is like satisfying. So like, let me recommend that for like another game which only requires a single license. There is a download for the game, which is like, I don't own this game, but I'm playing with someone who does. And you download that. And the second person is good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was quite fun. It was quite
hadn't
fun.
even occurred to me.
Yeah.
I just thought of another entire class of games we could be playing that I feel really dumb for not having thought of. I tried some of the Nintendo Switch Online games recently, some of the more recent selections, and they're really good, and some of them I had never heard of, and I was an absolute, like, emulation fiend back in the day. And so it's really weird to me how Nintendo's kind of been hitting it out of the park with finally doing the goddamn Netflix model they should have, like, gone into when the Virtual Console was hot on the original Wii, and I'm still really angry about, if you can tell from my voice. But have you guys played, like, the more recent editions?
There was something that they just added that I was like, oh shit, that's a hot pull. See here.
Was it Wild Guns?
No.
I mean, was it Tetris Attack? Because, like, I mean, Panel de Pon or whatever?
Panel de Pon did look cool. I haven't messed with
Panel
it yet.
upon rules, dude.
And it definitely wasn't fucking Rygar. So if there's some nerd out there who's like, was it Rygar? Then no, it was not fucking Rygar. Operation
played-
Logic Bomb, baby.
Okay, yeah. I started playing that. I was like, how had I never heard of this game? It's really fun.
I think that's fine because I managed to like go for years without ever hearing about this game, Joe. I just remember like one day rolling into Fallout Games in Tempe and being like, it looks like all the fancy games are in this case and they cost $1 billion. Thanks YouTube videos. What's rad that YouTube has it ruined? And the nice man behind the counter was like, are you down with Operation Logic Bomb? And I'm like, should I be? He's like, fuck yes. And he's like, if you've got $12, you've got Operation Logic Bomb. And I'm like, okay, let's do this thing. And holy shit. I was really surprised when it got added to the list for this month because like, I think you're right, Joe. It kind of feels like the SNES and the NES game list have shown a lot more active curation, like actively seeking out like good shit. And I think that Operation Logic Bomb supports that idea.
I straight up think that the people who used to complain about the virtual console back in the day, a small fraction of them eventually got into Nintendo and are now the ones fucking in charge of finding this stuff because they're finding stuff that's cheap to license but goddamn good.
Yeah. Like Wild Guns is definitely a case of that, like where like the cartridge is outrageous. Like if you want to go buy Wild Guns for a SNES, like you're gonna get fucked. I think that cartridge is something like $150, $200 these days.
I'm surprised it's that low.
Well, part of that... God. Let's talk about old games for a second. Part of that, Joe, is the rise of PS1 collecting.
Oh, so most of the easy money is going towards PS1 now because like the people who were... That was their glory days. That's the easiest sell.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, I suppose that was going to happen at some point. But there hasn't really been any bump in the Saturn market. And they're like, oh, that's so sad. But like the N64 market has seemed like kind of like a soft bump. But there's enough things that make collecting for the N64 irritating. Namely those goddamn controllers.
I was going to say, is one of them the controllers, is the other the N64 itself?
Yeah, the controllers suck. And nothing like getting that, original N64 controller and then trying to push the stick and then being like, why does it feel like I'm trying to like push a broken shovel through a pile of dog shit? And it's because those controllers were not designed to last in any kind of like meaningful way. So you better hope that your controller has been refurbished. And second, there's enough little things about the console itself that make it a pain in the ass to own. Like these small number of games that require the memory expansion. Okay, do you have the memory expansion? Okay, do you have the little plastic cover that goes over where the memory expansion lives? Oh, does this game require saving to a memory pack for some reason? Well, I hope you have a memory pack. Ugh, Lord.
Brian, I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you gotten into the Mr. scene at all?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I come across as that kind of guy.
Me too, but one of my co-hosts, Patrick, of my podcast, very big into the Mr. scene. We've played Mr. a couple times. So you remember the whole Retron 5 debacle back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm still a huge fan of the Retron, not the company that made it, but like the Retron itself and the idea. I'm looking forward to the day that I can spend literally just $700 on the equivalent machine, but made from fucking Mr. components. Because like, man, like the convenience and the ability to play things like on hardware is unrivaled, and like holy shit, I thought that was gonna iterate so fast, and then it just got stuck on the 5 because of like the legal issues.
It's really interesting to see like the direction that like Hyperkin has gone as a company since the Retron 5 blew up in their face and became a giant debacle. Because the Retron 5 is not hardware emulation at all, but that is the direction that they ended up going at Hyperkin. They're like, oh, okay, we were just running a bunch of stolen shit on the Retron 5, and that's why everyone hates us. So maybe we should start doing hardware emulation and pay some guys, which is what they did. But that also means that like they are now markedly slower and are generally putting out like one box at a time. And I guess it like depends on how that box does, whether or not they like create more stuff to service that market. So, like, they have, like, a SNES now and, like, a Sega, which are like, hooray, we're doing the stuff that, like, Analog has been doing for years. Joe, have you fucked at all with, like, any of the stuff from Analog?
No, I've not. I've been wanting to. Do you know if they ever ended up making their Game Boy thing? Like, did they ever message people about their Game Boy thing? Because I signed up for that and I never got a message.
Yeah, I mean, so basically the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still in the books. It's still a thing that's going to happen, but they're like, hey guys, pandemic. Once we get past this, we'll deal with this. And I'm fine with that. That's the product of theirs I'm most excited about because it has the most cores straight out of the box.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm so on board with you.
Yeah. Plus also like the handheld form factor, plus a Switch-style dock, and the dock supporting Bluetooth controllers. Like, these are all the kind of feature. Like, yeah, like if you're going to service a customer like me who's like, playing on original hardware is the way to go, and I want the convenience of being able to, like, you know, lay in my bed like a trash person and just play it staring at the ceiling, or sit in my living room on my big TV. Like, I want to do it all, and that does it. It lets me just, like, play on original hardware and have it feel like my Switch. So, hooray. Whenever that comes, they can have my money. They can have a pile of my money. So, all right. Joe, I've been wanting to get into this sleazy scene recently.
I'm curious what it is.
Which is weird, cheap, trash Chinese handhelds.
Are we talking about, like, 50-in-1s, or are we talking about things that had, like, weird compatibility with cartridges that existed and the like?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. The strange off-brand Game Boys from the 90s, I'm way into those. I'm like, oh god, do I really want to go down this rabbit hole of the number of people who are just like, yo, this plays Game Boy games. I just don't give a fuck. Like the ones that have like Game Gear style form factors and giant screens and like go through like batteries in like 45 minutes. Like, yes, please, just show me all this weird garbage. And then also like the there have been kind of these like recent exponential leaps in some of like the trash handhelds, which are historically like the 50-in-1 kind of things, where like a lot of them have been getting a lot better recently. Like the BitBoy comes to mind. Like the BitBoy's actually been getting some like good notices from like, you know, emulation focused reviewers and like, you know, retro niche style reviewers like the Fox, and like, ooh, if the Fox likes the BitBoy, then like I might want to fuck with a BitBoy. And like it's really just wild seeing like just how capricious like some of these like things have gotten. Like there's one which is like very clearly just the Vita mold. It's like, yep, I'm just the Vita mold, but on the back half of it, we're just using the case design that people made to put onto their Vitas, so that way there'd be two shoulder triggers. And I'm like, oh, so you're like Vita but better, and you're running like a recent chipset, a fresh version of Android, and have a bunch of like reliable emulators already installed. I'm like, I need to... So like I'm trying to figure out like which weird garbage modern Chinese handheld to adopt and which retro garbage Chinese handheld to adopt. Because I know if I don't narrow it to one, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up filling like the hallway closet with them going, what have I done with my life?
Nice. I got a frank question. How good are you at soldering?
Not.
I'm worried about the retro plan then, just because like that sounds like a pain in like the ass.
Fortunately, there are enough trash people like me that there is already a market for, like, so you want a weird garbage Chinese handheld, but you live in the United States. Why don't you get one that somebody's already done the pre-work on? Nice. Yeah.
Have you ever considered getting into Korean micro PCs from the early 90s that play NES games?
No, but tell me more.
I need to look this up. This might be misremembered, but I could have sworn there were like both official and unofficial compatibility. Like, you know how like Korea's a weird market for Japanese stuff generally and video games specifically? I think that there was a time where you could play Famicom games on like keyboard mount PC devices from Korea in like the late 80s, early 90s. I might be misremembering that, but I remember seeing some very weirdly colored plastic, and like I have no idea how official they were. I'll have to look into it.
Oh god, this is a rabbit hole. Note to self, spend time after show researching the Hyundai Super Comboy.
Comboy, yes, that's amazing.
Also, Jesus Christ, that's just an NES slot on a PC. Jesus, God. All right. Thanks, Joe. God.
I've now ruined your life.
I'm a person who's already considered, in all seriousness, buying an IQ player for no other reason to be like, yeah, I might want to speedrun Ocarina one day. You never know. Rocky, Tegan, I'm going to ask you a frank question because I want to get your real feedback as my friends and co-hosts. What percentage of the show, when Joe is on, just become old men talking about how cold the soup is now?
For the record, Tegan and I are like the same age.
Yeah, you can't say that because we're the same age.
No comment.
I'm like 900 also, so like, whatever, man. It's like, you take the show and you turn it slightly to the left and look at a different aspect of video gaming that we don't normally look at. So I think it's fine.
I'm really curious as to what your regular listeners think about the fact that me and Tegan are the same age.
I'm like simultaneously 12 and 900 years old. It's whatever. Yeah, you're like a real adult, and I am playing pretend, for sure.
I don't know how much of a real adult I am either. I think I'm more just unstuck in time in a bad way.
Oh, God. I don't know what you mean by that, but oh dear.
Tegan, you ever seen Bram Stoker's Dracula as directed by Francis Ford Coppola?
No, I don't watch movies.
Note to self, add Bram Stoker's Dracula to our list of watch-alongs.
Oh, Jesus.
There's this fantastic thing where Gary Oldman goes, I have crossed oceans of time. That came to mind for some reason. The idea of, like, Joe being unstuck in time, reminding us that the D stands for Dracula, and that he has crossed oceans of time to be on the show today.
No, that's how it feels sometimes. I was having a discussion with one of my current roommates because I'm back in Arizona during this pandemic, and we were talking about my relationship with Judaism. And I was just like, oh yeah, I feel like a weird disconnect from modern Jewishness for a lot of reasons. And I was like, I feel like I was at the first temple. And then I'm just like, I was just like,
It's
yeah,
been
man.
a while, Joe.
Yeah, me and fucking Asmodeus were building the temple after being summoned from hell by Solomon.
Oh my God. Amazing. Wow.
I'm sorry, Ashmodai.
That's amazing. I love that visual. Sorry.
Joe, I think that, like, I think somebody who would probably vibe well with the way you relate to your Judaism would be professional wrestler David Starr.
That's an incredibly Jewish name. I'm going to put that out there.
David Starr, like, the number of times I've seen him interacting online with other Jewish people where he'll, like, say something and then their response to him will be like, but you're Jewish! And you're like, what do you mean I can't call Israel an apartheid state?
Okay, yeah, I now see the connection.
Yeah. He's this wonderful, like, outspoken, loud, labor organizing socialist who, like, spends his time calling everybody out on their shit while also being, like, one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. David Starr is fucking fantastic.
Sounds like a Twitter I need to follow.
Yeah. Oh, God. In fact, like, his, I just want to get this so that way I can start heading us home. Let's see here. Ring intro. Okay. So, like, David Starr's ring introduction is just, like, patently ridiculous. As he has, accumulated more accolades and more, like, stories around his career, his introduction when he comes to the ring has gotten longer and longer and longer. So, I will now read you the current version of his ring intro. Ladies and gentlemen, the cream in your coffee, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, the Jewish canon, the physical embodiment of charisma, the most entertaining man in professional wrestling, the Bernie Sanders of professional wrestling.
Oh my God.
The best of the best, Mr. American Rana, Davey Wrestling, the 104-minute man, the main event, he's really good at Twitter, the king of taunts, the product, David Starr.
What league is he in?
Sir, he is an independent wrestler, sir.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to be like, man, if he's the Bernie Sanders of pro wrestling, he is going to get fired from the WWE.
Yeah, no, he has said multiple times, like, nope, not going to work there. Like, what WWE wrestlers need to do is organize. Like, you know, he is out there like working with like entertainment trade unions and sports unions and, you know, talking to like independent wrestling promoters. I mean, like getting them to like agree to deal with unions. Like the guy is a fucking mensch. He's fantastic. He wrestled a match as a one-off match for Ring of Honor where they're like, hey, David Starr, we'd like to have you wrestle a match in Israel. And he's like, I see your ass and I see what you're doing, but I'm going to take this match for one reason. And he took the match, and he goes to Israel, and he wrestles this match while wearing a pair of trunks that say "End Apartheid, Free Gaza" on them. And I'm like, there you go. Look at the big, beautiful balls on this man. Like, he is wrestling in Israel in front of a packed house wearing those trunks.
Okay, changing my maybe Twitter follow to definite Twitter follow.
Yeah. I've never seen the man buckle from his moral fortitude, and he emboldens me to be a better dude by following his Twitter. So there we go. That's Brian's Twitter Crush of the Week. It's a new feature. Well, guys, is there anything else we want to chat about before we take things home?
I don't know if there's anything we could do that could top whatever this is.
So everyone, this has been our show. It's called Impossible Coin. We do it every week.
He's waking up.
You can find it wherever podcasts are found, on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or Spotify, soon to be on SoundCloud. Speaking of SoundCloud, our music, which is at the beginning and end of this podcast, were produced by our friend Big Sach. You can find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ, or you can drop him a line on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo and t-shirt were designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran. Consider donating to her Patreon. And speaking of Patreons, we have one of those too at patreon.com/ImpossibleCoinPodcast. Maybe one day it'll be /ImpossibleCoin, but who knows? The future is an enigma. We don't know anything.
I have a last minute correction here.
Uh-huh.
My wife has bothered to open my office door to hand me a note.
Boop 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 boop
Yep.
boop boop boop.
It's a reminder that his Gaza-themed trunks he didn't wear in Israel. It's that the trunks he wore in Israel featured the Israeli flag on one side and the Palestinian flag on the other side, and said salam and shalom on the trunks.
That's also lit.
So, yeah, man, in the 90s that would have been like a real milquetoast thing to do, but like, man, nowadays, yeah. I don't mean to like criticize him. Like, I'm not criticizing him. It's just very weird to think how political discourse has shifted so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And Joe, you know, thank you for being one of our patrons. I hope you have been enjoying our Patreon content.
It's backlogged. I want to support you guys because I really like the show in general, and like I've been meaning to like listen to the Patreon stuff like since, but I just wanted to support you guys generally.
Well, thank you. So there you have it, listeners. It's good, even if you don't listen to it.
Don't quote him on that.
That's a terrible tagline.
Jesus fucking Christ, Brian. Ugh, it's fine.
All right, I'll rephrase.
That's the show.
I'll rephrase. It's better if you listen to it.
Impossible Coin Podcast. It's better if you listen to it. Please just print that on everything now.
Jesus. That's just going to be the, we'll put that in tiny text at the bottom of the logo.
Joe, did you like the new shirt?
New shirt. I didn't
The
get a
Animal
shirt.
Crossing shirt. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. No, okay. Was that Lauren Morantz or
That was
whatever?
not Lauren Moran.
Okay, well, whoever it is, really good. Like, really, really good.
Yeah, no, I was thrilled. You being a person that knows us, you, I think, being the Rosetta Stone of this podcast, could probably look at that shirt and go, yup.
It still blows my mind that I've been in a room with all of you individually, and none of you have been in a room together yet.
At this rate, we may never be in a room with each other, ever. So
I thought you were going to say with anyone. I'm like, okay.
yeah, I mean, we may never be in a room with anyone ever again.
Oh,
Who knows?
Joe, we don't know. How many fucking ostriches do you have?
Oh god.
Ostriches. Oh, yeah, the ostrich war. Well, so recently we cleared a bunch of space in the backyard. There was significant overgrowth because, as you're aware, in Arizona, whenever it rains, suddenly things that like just look completely fallow just turn into a jungle.
Yep.
So we cut that all down, found like metric shit tons of dog shit, and yeah, now I have room for maybe 2 ostriches.
And you shall bring them before me at the power plant?
Oh my god.
The power plant, or, you know, we could, I could just try to go back into my back catalog and just rebuild the temple if you want.
Okay, fine. Fuck off then. Peace!
Bye.
Later.